go. That was it was a misclick on my part, and they almost caught you doing a mouth fart. Look at that. They almost got you.
I almost went.
How we doing? How we doing?
Everything, life is good, and rules as always. If I complain, please take me behind the barn and shoot me in the leg, so it hurts, and it takes a while.
Only in the leg?
You heard me. Please, these are my last wishes. Please. Please.
I shall abide. I shall abide. I apologize for the mess behind me. I'm actually in the process of redoing the whole thing. I got the new printer over there. So.
And I'm not sorry for anything.
As you shouldn't be. As you shouldn't be. Because you.
Battle buddy! Battle buddy's on.
Mr. Walker, if I had to ask you to rate us from top to bottom as your two favorite people, that would be an unfair thing, isn't it?
I gotta leave. I'm gonna go. I can't be here.
Toucan wouldn't want to know that he's number 2. But he's my number 2, so that's okay.
My whole career in this godforsaken hobby is being the number 2. And you know what? It's a comfortable spot. It's comfortable here because I get to catch flack on the second round, not the first round. No.
You get to listen to me pout and scream all day long, and then
no,
it's not going to be fine. And I'm like, wait, what is that? That you're not supposed to say that. And, and then it's over.
And then the lights come on, and it was all just a very bad movie, for sure. How's the week been treating you so far, sir?
I am finding that every day I said this the other day, I am actually busier now than I've ever been in my entire life. That includes when I was in the Army and IT. Yeah. Which is good. We secured the second VR company. So we are partnered now with 2 VR companies, and we are the first and only for one of the 2 in the state of Florida. We are the only in the region for the other one. So if I had to photo, which takes more photo.
Hold on, let me just.
The fact that I knew what he was talking about, but to be fair, he knows that I'm busier than you, so he doesn't call me as much. That's what I like to tell myself, at least.
Busy hands don't deny wonderful conversation.
Are you saying you do something with your hands to make him happy?
Don't use your sex life to get out of this, bad friend. I don't want to hear it.
Just saying. I mean, I don't interpret things. I just you said it. I sent it back out. That was it.
I'm sick of you, dude.
Everybody's coming through YouTube today. Is it not broadcasting? Is it not broadcasting?
Maybe we're
on Facebook. I guess that's
Facebook.
No,
maybe we're. I was gonna say maybe we're banned on everything else.
That would be fun. Showing up on Facebook, and I did actually just launch it on the DEO page too. So we still are banned in that fashion. So I can't set it up as a virtual event. But once we're going live, I can actually launch it. So
that's good.
No, it's good enough.
Take that, the man.
Yeah, as they still
take that. A company that colludes with the government. That's right. Conspiracy time. So the space lasers causing the forest fires in California.
7:05, and time for you to be ready. Look at that.
It's like I tell my kids, I don't have a favorite, but I have a least favorite. Woo!
Yeah, that's right. And I will make sure to tell Jacob that.
Yeah.
What do we? Let's see. We got 1 month, man. 1 month.
1 month. Dude, it's gonna be so good. I'm looking at my crazy person whiteboard here. Yeah, 1 month for sure. Let me actually just scoot that bad boy over. Oh no, my Fallout things. Nah, whatever. Anywho. Wow, that's a nice sound to hear over the stream. Very professional. Anyways, going right into the events.
Did that come through? Shit, I didn't realize
it does every single time.
You come every single time. I don't know what I'm saying.
Kids might watch this. Anyways.
Happy birthday from the other day. Once again, Mr. Jason Tom. he's finally old enough to vote for his favorite porn star. So it's awesome. Good for him.
What are you, lonely? What is this?
Carrie's up in New York. You know that.
Don't answer that. Fuck, I messed up. I messed up so bad on that. Also, love you, Jason.
He wants to know where the body's hidden.
Wherever you aren't looking.
Yeah, we got 1 month, baby, 1 month, and we should have those planning pages up anytime now. Yeah, CRISPR, anytime.
Anytime.
So, I understand you know about some events happening around our neighborhood.
Speaking of getting an RTO for USSR for Thunderdome 5, let's talk about upcoming events for
While you do that, I'm going to eat some more of my dinner. Keep going.
All right, so the month of July, no actual events other than game days we're having, such as this week and the 13th and the 27th. Those are just community games in St. James City. Come join us for some casual gameplay. Moving right into the month of August, we have a shining star, a beacon of awesome bucket list kicking joy and delight. I'm talking about Operation Thunderdome 5, presented by Lion Claws themselves, run by the one, the only, Kevin Christopher Walker, who so foolishly elected this guy right here as USSR Command, who more foolishly elected this guy right here as the XO. We may have won 2, 3. How many Thunderdomes did we win in a row? I can't remember.
We lost the last one. That's all that matters.
We are on the redemption arc of a lifetime. Thunderdome 5 at the Northgate Mall in Durham, North Carolina. Tickets, sorry. If there are some, you're lucky. If there aren't any, it's literally a bucket list, AO. I don't know what to tell you. It is
Fat Ninja a warning, but beware.
Yeah, beware, Fat Ninja. He hasn't talked to me about a single plan. We're so ready. Anyways, so all that being said, join us for Thunderdome 5 at the Northgate Mall in Durham, North Carolina. It is going to be a wonderful event in a mall. You can't beat that. It's going to be awesome, fantastic, amazing. But because of how the weather is, that is the only event in August to really talk about weather-wise, and that we're going to, if we're missing any events. I'm not perfect, and I'm supposed to mess this up. Moving right along into the month of September.
What's happening in September?
Well, if you just keep eating your food, I'll tell you. September 13th through the 15th, tongue-tied, Yellow Dog. The Yellow Dog incident at the Hudson Sports Complex in Warwick, New York. It is a Players Wanted event at the decommissioned, repurposed Orange County facility / prison complex in Warwick, New York. It's going to be great. I like it. The AO is awesome. We had Syndicate 4 there. Good event. Way too many people for what that event was, but we fixed it. That was a hard lesson to learn. It's going to be a great time, though. Yellow Dog. Tickets are up. Check it out. I'll be there. I don't think Greg got fooled yet, but I'll be there. It's going to be a fun time.
Not happening this time.
Yeah. But yes, please check out Players Wanted for more details. I'm moving out into the world, into October. Whoa.
No, you're not. September 21st and 22nd, baby.
21st and 20. You know what? My blessed stars and stripes. Somebody's excited. Take a break from eating and regale us in Tales of Splendor.
All I know is somewhere in New Orleans, there's a Six Flag that I'm going to be running rampant through.
VFA is proud.
Veterans for Airsoft
is proud to present
Battle at Six Flags.
The Battle at Six Flags, the event no one thought would happen. That could happen. That was even an event. That could even materialize as something we could do. Playing in a mall, bucket list. We've all looked at a theme park and been telling ourselves, now there's some CQB I can get behind. Well, guess what, nerds? Veterans for Airsoft got it. Shout out to the amazing, magnificent Freddie Lux. Nailed it, secured it. It is completely sold out. It's been sold out. If you want tickets, beg those that cannot make it. Huh?
8 minutes. 8 minutes, it sold out.
8 minutes, it sold out. That was presented or gone. Those tickets went live at the Jax Fest, which we attended.
Yes, they did.
Not to brag, but yes, a fantastic. I'm so excited. I'm just going to play. Papa's going to make a fool of himself. It's just going to be fantastic. Ooh, I got a lot of phlegm in me. But yeah, my God, Battle Six Flags. So ready for it. But moving right along. I'm going to skip that because it's not Airsoft. It's dentist appointment. Kidding, of course. Gothic line. Oh, yes. Third Coast Airsoft is very happy to announce Operation Crossbones in Milledgeville, Georgia. That's a new event. As a matter of fact, it is a new event. Third Coast Airsoft returns to closed prison hospital complex and the surrounding area in Milledgeville, Georgia. West and east slug it out. Mill some airsoft style at an amazing AO that offers all types of terrain. It is a mission-driven, objective, and order-derived priority mission window event. This game is based off of mission accomplishment. It is going to be awesome. Special operation groups, airborne units. It is going to be so fun. Shout out to Third Coast Airsoft. Operation Crossbones is going to rule. Again, that's in Milledgeville, Georgia, by our very wonderful friends at Third Coast Airsoft. Follow Third Coast Airsoft on social media platform, Facebook, for more details. Probably Instagram. I cannot remember for the life of me, but Facebook. You all have Facebook because we're all enslaved by Zuckerberg. Moving along.
Hey, David, real quick, there might be another golden ticket floating around out there, so just keep your eyes open. Join the group.
Potentially, if you ask nicely. Moving right along to something more local. That's crazy. What? We're not traveling out of state or something? Well, shut up and I'll tell you more. New Breed Airsoft happily presents a borderline alt sim. Welcome to Operation Backyard Barbecue, where sorry, New Breed Airsoft Operation Backyard Barbecue is at the Outdoor Extreme Orlando Paintball and Airsoft Field in Orlando, Florida. The AO is awesome. Shout out to Desi. It is going to be a fantastic game. I will most likely be there. Papa is going to be there, vending and flipping burgers for the crowd. You ever wanted to have a war completely based off of a cookout? Here you go. This is it. Sold it. You ever wanted to shoot somebody over ribs?
I just pictured two guys on either side of a fence just yelling at each other.
You ever wanted to finally get vengeance at your uncle for making dried pulled pork? Well, this is as close as it gets, folks. This is it. You're going to love it. I'm going to love it. It's going to be a good time. Yes. So please follow New Breed Airsoft on all social media platforms. Tickets are live. It is going to be, the AO is great. The crew is great. It's actually going to be a good time. I highly recommend going. Moving right into the month of November. What a relative event I'm about to talk about. Well. We're talking about Mini Milsim 7, Operation Poison Barb. Poison Barb, you say? What? The coalition is on the brink and must hold their last fortress in the region. If they lose this one Mini Milsim, will change forever. A little punctuation wouldn't hurt our guest. No, I'm kidding, of course. But it's
Oh my God!
Absolutely
Where's
kidding.
your red pen, sir? Where's your red pen?
You'll kick me out. But yes, it is a all ages and experience level event. It is a way for anyone and everyone, whether a longtime veteran or a newbie, to come play in a fun, welcoming environment to try out a Milsim-esque event. It is run by the wonderful Stryker Airsoft Industries themselves. It is going to be a wonderful time. The event is Oh my God, why do you have so many tickets available? That's awesome. Wow, this looks like a good event. You should absolutely go to Mini Milsom 7 Operation Poison Bar by Stryker Airsoft Industries. Follow them on Facebook. Wonderful time will be had, or else. Moving right along. November 1st to the 3rd, Scorchers 3, Return of Little Boy by Players Wanted Airsoft Events. Nice notification sound, sir. I'm almost done. Yep. I'm working on ending this. November 1st to the 3rd, Warwick, New York, Hudson Sports Complex. It's a great AO. It's going to be a nice mission-based event. Check it out. It's going to be fun. I'm trying to blaze through this. Follow Players Wanted for more details on upcoming events. Let's see. Go. Oh my gosh. You know what? I'm going to say one. No, I have to say this event because our guest, and I would just be a fool for not bringing this up. I have to. We're skipping right into January, and then this is it. I skipped over a couple events. I skipped over Wasteland 16 in November. Stryker Airsoft Industries is proud to present Kazovac 2 at the old Arcadia Naval or Naval Airport.
You want to let Matt advertise it?
Yeah, why not? Get him in here.
We'll call this a segue.
I legit ran out of steam. It's been a day.
Master the handoff right here, Mr. Christian Toucan Harris, sending it right on over, handing it off like a hot potato to Mr. Matt Boyle.
Let me just throw this. Yeah, there you go.
I was kind of interested to see how he was going to recover after saying it was a naval installation.
There's no
dude,
with no water anywhere near it.
Did you see the terror in my eyes? I'm like, oh, what a goof. But yeah, take it away, Kazovac 2 with, and by the way,
Cold
the
weather.
picture that says now with cold weather, dude, slayed me. I'm like, gotta go. It's a feature now, baby.
Yeah.
Big
So,
how's it going? Just talking to people in the
Definitely
chat.
excited to go back. The first round was definitely both a test run for the facility itself and for us as a company. And I'd say that we did well in some areas and we definitely did not do well in other areas. But it's all just a learning curve. I'm sure both Toucan and Greg can tell you that doing an event is not like an end state where it's like, okay, we figured everything out. We don't need to do anything else. Every single time you do something, you learn something new.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I've learned everything I knew.
He's lying, and he's the reason why things get hard for me. He's lying, Matt.
The most important thing you can learn in his life is how to pawn something off on somebody else.
Remember when I said it's comfortable being the number 2 for like all these people? I lied.
Yeah.
I lied so bad. I lied out my teeth.
But no, it was a learning curve for us because it was the first event that we'd ever done at that scale. And at a certain point as a company, you have to decide, are we going to do it? And for a fact it's not going to go perfectly. You've never done anything this large before. The finances involved were 4 times greater than anything I'd ever done in my life, period. The amount of people that I had to bring on was 2 or 3 times the amount that I'd ever done for any Milsim event. The scale of the AO was 10 times larger than any AO that I've ever worked before as an event host. So it was definitely something that we knew was going to be difficult, and we just had to get through the first one. And we learned a lot, not only from the people who said we did good, but from the people who said that we did bad, which is where you usually learn the most stuff from. So we're going back. October wasn't cold enough. We originally picked it because we figured, the average temp during that month was supposed to be 86 degrees. It was 97 degrees when we got there.
Legendary
that
Florida
didn't
weather.
Work out great. And then the facility itself, it was the first time that anyone had ever done any airsoft there. And so when we liaisoned for it, they didn't really know what they were getting into either. So some of the things that we had talked to them about, they either hadn't gotten done or the way that they had done them was not preferable to the way that we would have liked to have done them. When we got there on Tuesday night before the event, and Wednesday was supposed to be us, going through and marking the not safe areas and getting everything cleaned up. But we didn't get to do that because the entire Wednesday was spent going to Walmart, buying Raid cans, and spraying the entire facility out of wasp nests because there were probably about 100 wasp nests everywhere.
Oh.
And we said, if these wasps are here, this event is not going to happen because this is fucked up.
I would have just called them objectives.
But a win is a win. You ran so everybody else could walk. You broke ground. You had an event. It was a risk that you did it. Like, obviously, first event, first big push for your company, new AO, new stuff. Like, how was it not going to be like chewing on pebbles and nails? You nailed it.
Yeah.
Like,
we did the best that we could. And I'm super excited to go back and do it better, do it the way that we should have done it the first time. Sure. We actually have people in place now in the staff that will allow upper staff to be able to do what they should have done anyway. We're not going to have a bunch of people. Well, there will always be people who don't hydrate properly, but we will have less people, hopefully, having heat casualties going on, so we'll be able to focus more on the game.
Now, everybody that's going to clip this, he said hopefully. Let's clarify that. Hopefully. Okay? All of you shut up.
No one was going to have a heat cat. No.
No, I don't feel bad. After AMS had their event and they had 36 people had to be walked off the field.
We had a pickup game, and like every game we had like 2 people that needed to be carted off.
This last
pickup games.
96 degrees, felt like 116 was what the weather said. Feels like 116. These poor guys, they're playing. They're like, I got, getting a mule. Let's go. Just driving back. I'm yelling at people walking around, handing waters out.
I had a guy walk up to me. I'm like, "Oh, how's it going?" He walked up and goes, I'm like, "I understand. Get in." It was so bad. That's the guy that I'm like, Greg. Like, I just drove him up and I pushed him out. I'm like, "See ya." It's so bad.
It was terrifying because that was my first experience ever being a game host where I had a player who was even unresponsive, and we had even more beyond that. Mm-hmm. And so when the first guy came in and I was like, fuck, man, like, this is it. We prepared for this, but it had never happened to me. So I was in a little bit of shock. And then the next guy, and then the next guy, and then the next guy. And so by about 2:00, I was pretty sure that was it. Like, the event was over. My life was over. These people are dropping like flies. We finished out the night Evo and we're heading back to the hotel, me and the other Matt, at 2 a.m. And he's like, Boyle, I don't think I can go back. I don't think I can go and face all these players the next day. And I was like, dude, we can't. We have to go back. We have to finish the event. No matter how bad it is, we have to finish out the event. So it was definitely a flashpoint event for my entire life.
Sal, and I think this might come from an Army thing because it's on a much smaller scale. I do it. Sal does a great job with TCA at knowing and expecting that the majority of the people that are going to be there are just dumb. Like, including yourself. We're all idiots. And what we chose to do, we're all idiots. Project that on them. You guys are going to be dumb. I hydrated this morning. Too late. No, you didn't. You had one water bottle you've been sipping on for 4 hours. You're not hydrated, dude. It doesn't work like that.
As being blessed enough to work in that machine for Milledgeville, they think literally everyone's retarded and they're over-prepared for it. Like, the efficiency that staff has at understanding how dumb the clientele is. They work the bottom and they expect the top. So they expect the under ambitious and the overly ambitious at the same time. They prioritize the under ambitious, but they're ready to be like, you thought way too hard on how to break this rule. You thought way too hard on how to modify this prop. You thought way too hard on how to climb the structure. And then the bottom is they're just ready for the slugfest of you're dumb, you're dumb, you're dumb, you're dumb. You really have to get the right people and the right, like, 1 or 2 corrallers of your staff to go, like, get the idiots. Go get them. Yeah. It's going to suck. Like, what Matt was feeling, I get it.
Yeah.
As an event game runner coordinator, I get it. You get the feeling. Like, how, no shame. He's like, I don't know if I could do it. I get it. We all get it. It's rough sometimes. Rough.
So if you're going to be in the fantastic segue man he is, knowing all of that, why would you have started this business in the first place?
So the business is kind of separate from the events specifically. The events have kind of always been my passion. I did my first
That's what
event.
I want to talk about is the events today. I want to talk about
So I did my first event that was also questionable in the summer at Raptor Airsoft.
Oh yeah, dude, you're batting 1,000. Yeah.
Back when I went to Doomsday's Overwatch 2, and I loved it, and I came back and I was like, I can do that. That's not that hard. And so literally a week later, I was doing what was it called? It was something Conflict Vietnam or something like that. And that was just me. I had nobody else helping me with that. And I had like ideas in my head, but I had no way to execute on them. And like the player showed up, and the way I set the game up wasn't conducive because you hold all the objectives and only at the end of the game do you get the points for it. So one of the CEOs had the bright idea. He's like, well, we'll just hold everybody at the CP until the last 30 minutes of this 8-hour game, and then we'll release them to play. And so one faction is running around the field trying to find somebody to play against, and then the other faction is just sitting in the CP like, so like, can we leave yet? Can we go play the game? He's like, no, everybody has to stay in the CP. So that one was interesting, but I got the taste for it, because I was like, this is a lot of fun. You know, you get to put this together. It's more than just a pickup game. You get to set up this cool thing where the players come out, and really the players make the event. No matter how much you do or don't plan the event, it's really the players that get out there and really make it. The players can fight over some twigs as long as you give them some radio frequencies and pretend like the twigs are a big deal. Like they'll make it happen. So
they're in the trees, man. Yeah.
So I got the taste for it, and I loved it, and I loved being able to give that to, at the time, just my teammates, because that's why I was doing it, because I just thought it was cool. And then I did that one. I did a couple of other little tiny ones at Raptor, and then some other drama happened at Raptor. What's up, Laz? Dude, Laz gave me some great feedback from that AMS event. I'm very glad that he called me. He was like, bro, the AMS people have got their shit together. And I was like, yeah, what are they doing?
Tell me in detail. I have a notepad.
But I did a couple more events that were small, and then I'm sure you guys remember I was supposed to be CO for Northern Watch at the Raptor Field, and then all that drama happened where he said, well, I don't want Matt at my field because he used to work here. He knows too much. So I wasn't able to go, and I think like 70 other people got banned with me because what the owner had said was anyone who even knows Matt isn't allowed to show up to the event. So all these players got shunted out of the event, and I said, well, I feel responsible for these players. So I called Wasteland and said, hey, I don't have any money. Can you guys drop the price of the field in half just for the day? I'll set up the entire event, if just whatever it's going to take to get these players out here to put the game together. And that was Mini Milsom 1, was the 70 band players from Northern Watch that just came as between sides. And we played Mini Milsom 1 at Wasteland Ops. And it actually went so well, and I had so much fun putting it together that I just kept doing it, and I kept doing it, and I kept doing it. And I said, let's get more professional. Let's get more people. Let's get better props. And then one day I said to my buddy Linder, I was like, we could do this. We know enough to be dangerous. Like, let's actually go the next step and do this for real. So it's just been a lot of fun.
I remember you guys, the Mini Milsoms, going from like, watch out, guys, we have like pyrotechnicals and a little firework in a hole.
Yeah.
I was like, sick, to like going to the next one. I'm like, there's props and ambitious command and holy fuck, they got his shit together. Like, it was awesome. Like seeing that progression from like, one of the firework fountains going off to, this is great.
Yeah.
Really impressive. Seriously, props to you.
Thank you. And just in the last year, because everybody's always like, oh, there's so much money in events. It's like there really isn't. When you get to like, bro, he's definitely making like $15,000 every time he puts on Mini Milsom. It's like, no, we really aren't.
Dude, your staff make more money than you. The people you pay to help you. It's great. It's so funny. Yeah.
It is counterintuitive to all of that. It's the dumbest thing you could do. And I'm not even dead. That's why I asked you. Like, knowing everything you know. It's a great question. Knowing everything you know.
Let's have a 2-hour segue on that sentence you said. Oh my god, it's so funny.
So By the way, I do want watching your persistence, watching you push through. You're like, okay, well, that one wasn't great, but I bet it could be better. And okay, that one was better, but I bet it could be better. And you just keep pushing. And I know you got the ever loving virtual shit beat out of you for Quasi-Back, right? I mean, who am I lying to here? everybody here and there like knows that happened, and yet you took it in stride. Very much so. Took it in stride. Took the positive away from it, and decided this is not going to stop me. I'm going to keep going, and to learn from that, and that's. You don't
and
get
that was a very hard decision. Like Quasi-Back very nearly broke me. I almost said, I'm never going to do events ever again. This was too much. I got back on Monday at my day job, and my boss sent me home. He said, Matt, you are fucked up. You need the next 3 days off. Do not come back to work until Thursday. And I was like, okay. And I went home.
I'd like to adjust that statement. You actually said, I'm never gonna do events again. When I talked to you on the phone, you didn't almost say, you did say it. I was like, holy shit, this was really bad for him. When you and I had our that conversation, I think it was either the first or second call. And you were like, I'm just not doing it. I can't do this shit anymore.
But look, it went so bad. It went so badly. You're gonna have another one.
Yeah.
It's like,
and now that we're having the second one, I'm realizing that logistically we definitely made some mistakes. Definitely the heat was a big factor, but I'm actually very surprised that we've gotten the feedback back that we've gotten just from announcing the event. We already have 300 people either interested or going on the Facebook page. So I think people realize that it was just a little bit of tweaking on our end that we need to make. We need to have much more aggressive staff. We need to have a better logistics system set up for our staff specifically, and then just not do it when it's 100 degrees outside. And then I think everything has the potential to be fantastic. So going back the second time, I really do think we're going to knock it out of the park. And I to the bottom of my heart, honestly, every time I put an event on, and I've said a couple times during live streams that I've done in the past, the way that I see it is every player that steps onto that field is handing me, their $80, their $100, their $200 and saying, Matt, here it is. I trust you to put on something fun that's worth this money. And that's why I take it so harshly, because I'm like, all right, I have to do it. It has to be worth the money for these people because they trust me. They're showing up to the event. So like the same way that they would for TCA. So that's like a huge deal for me. So I'm excited to actually give people what
I'm
they
going to
should
put
have
this up
gotten.
there, and I'm going to say no volunteers. No, sir.
No, we have done Order 66. We've had a great purge in our staff in the last few months. And I think that you see that reflected in how well many milk
Orlando. High quality H2O.
Yeah. And that we're not on a volunteer basis anymore. We've told the people, like, if you're here to work, you're here to work. We will pay you well. That's why we charge what we charge for the event. But I need you to get done what we need you to get done. We need you to stay all the way to the end and clean everything up. When you're here, I need you to be focused. There's no more of this bullshit where it's like, well, I'll ref for 4 hours and then I'll play for 4 hours, because your heart's not in it. You're playing on your phone. You're just thinking, I can't wait to get out there and play the game. And then you're depriving all of the players that referee that they need to be on that corner of that building or in that room, or running around on the road or whatever they might need.
The joke I make all the time is you can't yell at a volunteer. That's the easy way to say it. But the truth of the matter is you're right. When you pay someone, now you can depend on them because you have a contract.
Yeah.
It's not just like you're gonna be there. Cool, thanks. No, you've stated it. We have this contract now that you are going to be there. If you're not there, let me know you're not there, and we won't have that, and that's cool. But we don't have that relationship anymore. I'm not paying you. You can come and play. That's cool.
Yeah.
And Toucan and I went through that for a very long time of people kind of flaking in and out. And we didn't know it. And finally, not even a year ago, we're like, listen, enough is enough. I'm hiring people. We're paying them. That's it. This is what we got, because you need the dependability. And on the scale that you're doing it, you absolutely need it even more. I want to point something out that's kind of cool. When you don't really ever, like, you see whether it's someone a rising star who's going to be, you know, a movie star someday, or, you know, a millionaire when they're still broke, or anything like that. No one ever gets to talk to those people. You don't get to see what they're going through while they're going through it. That's why I'm liking this. You know, I've spoke to Sal many times. We're going to have him on in 2 weeks. Having Josh on before, having, you know, even Wiener and all that, everything. You guys
having Josh on again.
Yeah, Josh is going to actually come on again. Having you know, watching you, you're not at the end. You are definitely, you're on an upsweep. You know, you are on your way up, and it's not difficult to see the trajectory. It's kind of cool though to be still back far enough to see where the beginning was. You know, to actually see where you came from and be a part of the process and watch the process happen. It's actually really cool. You know, a lot of people don't get that. They think either it's impossible to do. Well, you've proven that it's not. Well, you can do them small. You've proven that it doesn't have to be that small. Yeah, there's a lot of that's happening, and the more you do it, the higher you climb. And you're just like, well, the next one can be better. The next one can be better. The next one can be better. And 10 years from now, you'll be up with those others who you don't know their history. You don't know where they came from. They've been around for so long. It just seems like they've been there forever.
Yeah. And it's been extremely humbling because, you know, I don't think of myself very highly. I'm very self-deprecating, even probably on this stream. And I'm just some goober. I just play airsoft. Like, I don't know. I'm just trying to, you know, put on a fun game and stuff. But now there's a couple companies up north that are just starting out their careers in milsim, and they're like, what do we do? Like, how do we do this? And I'm like, oh my God, people are asking me these questions. But like, it's cool to be able, like you said, to still be able to be connected to the same person that I was when I did Mini Milsim 1 and remember why I'm doing this. Yeah. And it is, at the end of the day, just to provide airsoft, which has given me such a foundation for my life and me as a person who I am, to give back to that almost and be like, well, let me put on these games for everybody. Let me give you an opportunity to enjoy the sport in the way that I think that it should be enjoyed, which is large scale fun events where you can really make a difference in people's lives. I know I talked about this at the Jax Fest, but we were at Jax Fest at the giveaway. There was literally not a single person in the audience that did not have their lives forever changed by someone else in the audience that day. Mm-hmm. And that's crazy. That's extremely impactful. And they feel that way because they've gone to events. They've gone to your events, my events, TCA events. Like, it is fake combat, but nothing ever really cements you with somebody like sharing a room with them for 3 hours while you're both fucking sweaty and tired. And be like, bro, we're going to die. Like, you got any Snicker bars in your fucking kit?
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. It is that, like, the, you know, in real world, you know, it's called trauma bonding. It's adrenaline bonding. You're doing this cool thing that you've allowed yourself to embrace, although it's fake. You've allowed yourself to get immersed into it. So you're taking it kind of serious in that way. We're gonna Overwatch. We're doing this. We're blah 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 blah, and it plays out. And at the end of the day, you just realized you walked 22 miles carrying a toy gun. So right there, that's just dumb. So find the good in it, find the cool in it. And you look around, there's 300 other idiots with you. You're like, yo, this is kind of cool. Yeah. And all of a sudden, it, like you said, it changes you, it becomes a part of you. So absolutely.
People just don't want to admit how fun suffering actually is. Like, it is pretty fun at the end of the day. Where it's like, I could have sat and played Minecraft for 8 hours, but instead I got shot in the forehead by an archangel, and then Milsim Squirrel interviewed me at a prison down in Amok. Like, you can't beat some of the craziness and suffering you get out of this event. Shout out to New Breed. Sup, Rob Wiener? Anyway, sorry. One of my newest bosses right there. Anyways.
Easy.
But it's totally true.
I collect them like Pokemon, dude. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Gotta catch them all.
You know, they say you can't trust a man with 2 bosses.
I got way more than 2. That hurts. Crap.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Christian is polygamous when it comes to his bosses. That's just what it is.
But
he's a big whore. It's okay, though.
What?
To be fair,
let Matt talk. Shut up.
I'm the one who turned him out, though, so it's okay.
No, but like Christian mentioned the Gothic line. We're sending, as a company, we're sending Linder to the Gothic line. Just
Are you really?
Yeah, we bought him his whole kit. He's got his gun. He bought a lot of it out of pocket, but the company bought him his ticket, and we'll probably give him like gas money or whatever.
Is Pope able to go?
Pops is going. Pops is the one that talked him into it.
Dude, it rules.
Literally, I am sick of it. I am sick of meeting Pops. Every time, and I'm like, how's it going, Pops? He's like, guys, have you heard of the Gothic line? It's going to be a 7-day Milsim event. I'm like, stop talking about it. We get it. We don't want to hear about it anymore. But,
actually, technically, with camping, it's 8 days. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. No, it's 7 days straight, and like I don't know if it's as complicated as he says, but he's saying like your food has to come in a tin, and you can only have 3 tins for the 8 days, and so the rest of your food has to come from a supply line where they roll the dice, and it's like, oh, your supplies are cut off, you can't have food for the next 12 days or for the next 12 hours. So it's like crazy shit like that. So we're like, well, why don't you go? Not me, but why don't you, Linder, go and see how that is, and see if we can't like take some of those elements back with us and use some of them.
You want to talk about people that are in for just the experience? Yeah. That's the group. Those guys are so dedicated, whether they make a dime or not. It is insane how dedicated they are to that. Like that level of event hosting, it's not an event, it's a craft for them. I give them huge props.
Yeah, they give you a haircut if you show up and your hair is not to regs. They'll cut your hair before they let you on the field.
Yeah, they do not play. They're like, you will be hungry, you will be cold, you will be wet, you will look stupid.
Yeah, so. Pretty much. And then when you get hit, they have these cards where you pull the card out and it says how badly you're injured. And if you were injured bad enough, you have to lay there and wait for someone in a Jeep to come and stretcher you onto the Jeep, take you back to the medical station where you have to sit there and wait for an hour and fill out medical paperwork. And then they'll let you back out onto the field. So it's like, how awful can we make it? So not only do you suffer, now you have paperwork that you have to do.
But dude, just imagine. You're going to the event for the first time. You have all your gear. You spent the money. You get shot, and then veteran players are like, "You're filling it out wrong, dummy." You're just like, "How the hell am I supposed to know, dude? I just wanted to play airsoft." They're like, "It's not airsoft. It's experience." Yeah. Those guys are awesome. That is awesome.
What you want to go do? Is that what you're saying?
So badly. Tell I had a couple of
they can send you.
Listen, if he doesn't come back,
shut the hell up.
I'll go next year.
I was gonna say I had a couple of acquaintances go, and they came back like that gorgeous piece of World War II art of the Marine on Peleliu with a big scary like 1,000-yard stare eyes. They're like, it was awesome. I was like, gotta go. They're like, how was it? We did nothing, and someone cried, and I hurt my foot, and it got wet, and I liked it.
Yeah.
All right.
So what's the goal? Where do you see yourself?
What is this, philosophy?
So talking about his business, you don't mind?
Yeah. So at least for our events division, I'd like to do 3 a year. I feel like that's where I'm comfortable. I don't want to do like 12 a year. That's insane. But I'd like to go to Georgia. I'd love to run events in some of the northern states, just because my true goal is all of my money goes into going to new cool places and running games in places I've never been before. Because if you've noticed, all of the mini Milsims lately have been at places that they just haven't done events. So I want to do events at new places and have new challenges, because when you're planning the event, it's almost like you have to play Commander, and that's something I've always loved, strategy games. And so having new places to do that would be awesome, and I'd like to be able to do that in northern states. I'd like to do 2 a year in a new place. We're going to keep doing Casevac no matter what, for sure, and Mini Milsim no matter what, for sure, at least once a year. Mini Milsim, just because that's always been my passion. I want new players to come on to Milsim, especially like I have veterans at my office at my day job who are just like, I don't know, that seems like a little bit too much. Is there like something else I can start with that's not 2 days and $100? And I was like, yeah, you could come to Mini Milsim. So that has its place in the community. I think it's very important to have that. And then Casevac, we've become very good friends with the people who own the facility, to the point where they've trusted us with managing new airsoft events coming in. And I believe in the vision that they have for the facility. Right now it's trashed, but they want to bring in LEO. They want to bring in military if they can, National Guard, Airsoft specifically. I'm talking them out of paintball because that's a whole mess and I'm not willing to deal with that.
Right.
Yeah, but they want to get power water up on the facility. They want to install new buildings. They want to have like a state-of-the-art training classroom like GTI does. They want to completely gut the hospital and do all this stuff with it. So I told them, you know, that sounds awesome, and I love that because Florida needs an AO because the old prison that Altair had is kind of falling apart. And so it'd be really cool if Airsoft in Florida had an A-grade AO for people to run events at, which is why I've been trying so desperately to get literally anybody but myself to run an event there. But that's been its own challenge. And then my third event, I just want to do somewhere cool, somewhere new, like doing Tiger's Cage at my brain. Where did
Big Indian Paintball?
Yeah, Big Indian Paintball. Big Indian Paintball is such a cool freaking field. From the second that I played there, I was like, I want to run an event here. This is so cool. So we're going back there in March again. I got to go to the Brushy Mountain Prison, which I don't know anything about it, but I heard 6mm made a bit of a boo-boo there several years ago. But then the Milsom Mercs, who were the people who invited us, I felt like they did a really good job. The AO was really cool. I'd like to do something there one day. I'd like to go to the Black Site one day and do something there. That place is crazy. If I ever feel like, you know, dumping my entire life savings out, maybe we'll go to the Guardian Center one day. But that's probably way, way in the future. But it's just to do, you know, more fun stuff, really. Just to have more big, fun events and just to get better with the events. Because now it's like, okay, I can do this. You know, I can put on something. After Casavac, it was definitely a humbling, but it was also cool because at the time I was like, I think we're there. I think we can do it. I think we've got to the top of the mountain. And then you realize that a 500 player event, an AO that size for 2 days, you realize how much effort TCA puts into their events to make them go as smoothly as they do. Like no hiccups at all. They go through the event and they're like, that was great. And you have no idea that anything bad ever happened. Or even if anything bad did happen.
They have so many events a year at
the
top tier AOs.
Fucking crazy.
Dude, I finished Milledgeville and they had their like a pre-meeting for Fort Cavazos there, and I'm just like, this is, you just finished. This is insane. They're just like, and you know, their transportation. I mean, well-oiled machine. Sal is a monster at logistics. He has such an I'm like, how? Yeah. How?
I mean, again, I've talked to him about it a little bit. And we'll get to talk to him about it in 2 weeks, but is what I was saying to Matt before is you gotta remember how long he's been doing it. The only people that have been doing it really, I mean,
Line Claws.
They're the great, you know, they're the godfather of all this. They started it all. And John finds all these. He has a niche on how he finds them though. That's actually pretty cool the way he finds them. I don't know if you guys know how he actually gets them.
I would love to know because I've come across so many cool places that could work. But nobody ever wants to let Airsoft happen there because they think it's too much of a liability.
So he gets the cool ones, the super, super cool ones, because he's got a buddy who contracts demo. So when buildings are going out of business and they need to be demoed, they call this guy. This guy calls John and says, "Hey, in 8 months I'm demoing this building. You've got 8 months to run a game there." And that's how he found Mayhem Mill, which is 1 million square feet.
Dude, it was so cool.
It was awesome. And then he got, he's had several malls. He is all these different little ones, and then obviously he's got all the, he's got Muscatuck and all of those as well. But he's not alone in some of those. Some of these, he's the only one.
And
finds it. So
also speaking of logistics, he has regional game coordinators, which is huge. Yeah. So California, like west to east coast, I mean, he has it down pat. He picks the right people, which is a huge thing as well. Like shout out to our boy Kevin. Huh?
I didn't. Christopher correcting me. I did not realize 1.8 million square feet. Excuse me. Holy crap! Yeah, and
Yeah.
that right there. I don't know if you're familiar, if you know Christopher at all, Matt. That's
He
Christopher
rules.
is southeast.
Southeast.
Southeast. He is the Southeast event coordinator for Line Claws. And so when it's time to run events in that area, they belong to Christopher.
Christopher's the man. Also, Thunderdome 5. Look it up, nerds. Anyways,
it's at some point you're going to do that difficult thing where you're like, okay, we've gotten to this point and we're running them very well, but now I need to go bigger, and then you gotta.
Yeah, and I think that we've made the decision, both me and Linder, that this is probably where we want to be. I don't ever want to get to the point where I'm looking at my events as purely a revenue stream, where I'm like, all right, well, let's do another one. Let's do another one. Let's do another one. I want to make sure that every time I do an event, it's a passion project, really. So I think 3 a year is probably even pushing it right now, but probably no more than 3 a year for sure.
well, it's important to do events. The number of events is irrelevant. It's I want to do an event here, and I just so happen to want to do an event here. So the number of events is irrelevant. It's the drive to want to do an event at locations that matter, no matter how many locations, and realistically if you can. So I think that's a pretty healthy mindset you have.
And there are so many cool places to play. You just got to keep looking. Like we've done a tour of an abandoned phosphate mine that we so desperately wanted to get, but they ended up deciding they were going to do something else with it. There's the old Sun Hotel in Orlando that almost nobody knows is there. Well, apparently y'all know it's there. So it's like it's in downtown Orlando.
We're all begging. We're all on the same line going, please, you know.
And then when they closed down the Holy Land in Orlando, I was waiting for that because I did have a contact for that, but they were like, no, it's Advent Health. They're never going to do anything risky with it. And I was like, you're right. But that would have been really freaking cool to play Airsoft at the Holy Land.
Yeah, I guess you could say it would have been biblical.
Stop it. I almost muted you before you said it.
Should have done it. Should have done it.
So tell me real quick. So you are, I mean, most people really only know you in reference to Stryker. Talk about Linder a little bit. So I know I've met him, but in passing more than anything else, not in a way that I know you. Have you guys been partners the whole time?
Not originally. I've been doing events before Linder came into the picture. Linder came into the picture majority for the reason of the products end, as far as like what Stryker produces. He hates events. He doesn't want anything to do with events. If it was up to him, we would hire someone to replace him and he'd never have to see another event ever again. So it's definitely not
okay. All right, that's fair.
But he's done what he's needed to do for the events. He's definitely pulled his weight. He does like being the game master and like being the radio guy that the command comes into. And he helps me a lot with making sure I don't have grammar mistakes, like Mr. Toucan pointed out. Because if it was just me, it would just be a disaster everywhere.
Shout out to every right-hand man of every event producer, Matt Linder. Matt Linder, I love you. All right? These two, I feel your pain. No, I'm kidding.
He is the number one, number two in the world, right there.
Relax, chill.
In the world.
Yeah,
I'm going to tell Kevin not to call you. Oh yeah,
and Linder will probably always prefer that nobody really know who he is because he's like, oh well, they can't. Even if they hate you, Matt, they can't hate me. They don't even know who I am. So
I've never seen you two in the same room. So there's that. Everybody,
you would think that we hate each other because we argue forcefully very constantly, but I feel like it's very healthy because he'll shout me down when I'm in the wrong and I'll put him down when he's in the wrong. So it's been a good working relationship. You got to have people that put you in your place. If you come out with some stupid bullshit and they're like, you can't do that, Matt, that's some stupid bullshit. I'm like, well,
hold on 1 second.
Okay,
shut up.
You and Mark and Wiener and Kevin and I could go on forever. I'm kidding. Yeah. Kevin actually rules. I can't lie. Kevin.
What? Whatever. So it's not about us. It's about Matt. Go ahead.
No, that was it. I mean, he's a cool guy. Linder's very quiet. He's very organized.
Would he like to come on the stream?
Absolutely not. He would do well. He would do well if he was on the stream, because like half of his day job is public speaking in an environment where he has to say the right things, otherwise legality shit will kick in. So he's actually really good at it. It's just he hates it. He absolutely hates it. He hates it when I drag him up onto the stage when we're doing events. I'm like, and Linder, and he's like, no. So
damn, that's funny.
I could probably do it. I'm the
waiter. Yeah.
So obviously you're not quitting, which is wonderful.
No.
If you did, we'd be so mad at you, I think.
We definitely need, we need event producers. What a lot of people don't realize is there's plenty more players out there. We need more games. We need more events. We need more AOs. We need all that, because the better we do, the more of them we get, and it's reciprocal that way. And putting on the events, finding the locations, doing all those kind of things, you're doing a great job, and you're going to take your lickings like you have been.
Yeah,
it's just going to happen.
And that's the important thing, is that you have to be able to say, you know what, I messed up, or we didn't plan for that, or we'll do better next time, because like it would have been very easy for me to come out of Cassavac and just straight up blame the players and be like, the players weren't hydrated, the players were cheating all the time, and the players this, the players that. And I even caught myself doing that the first 2 days where I was emotionally not stable at all. But you have to remember that the players are the players, and they're just going to be doing what they're doing. It's up to us to do what needs to be done to make sure that the events are good, because the players aren't going to change. There's no way.
They are as bad as you allow them to be. That is, if you keep that one in mind, life will be so much easier for you. If you let them do those things, because they really are. They're, and I say they, and I'm talking about the three of us also, because we're all players too. But just a bunch of assholes, man. We really, like, if they're like, you got 15 minutes beyond the field, we'll talk and eat for the next 12, and then realize our mags aren't loaded. Well, to us, be on the field means start walking towards the field in 16 minutes, not 15. And because you let them. But if you're riding their ass, it's a different story.
And to Christopher's point, like, they are the best and they are the worst. Yeah. There's your, and this has been very consistent for every single event I've ever run. And all of these people who reach out to me asking me for advice, I tell them the exact line every single time. I said 5% of your players will tell you they loved it. It was the greatest thing they've ever experienced. The other 85% won't say a damn word unless you ask them directly, even if they had fun. And then 10% of the players will say that it's literally the worst thing that they've ever been to in their life, and they want a refund. And no matter how good you do, or where the AO is, or who you invite, or who's there will always be that 5%, and there will always be that 10%. And you just kind of have to accept that and just, keep moving forward, keep doing better, that kind of stuff.
I think we get lucky that Christian and I we have our local field. So we get to run the equivalent of an event on a very small scale bi-weekly. So when you hear the guys, man, I didn't have any fun at all, man, I didn't shoot anybody, and you walk up to him and go, I watched you hide in a bush for 14 minutes. Of course you didn't have any fun, stupid. And so Christian's guys, all the rest are there to not just watch the game but push them along. So we learned that from having the pickup games, having the day games, and then when we run events, we do that at the events as well. But you're absolutely right. You're still going to get, no matter what happens, still going to somebody's like, greatest game in the world. Yeah, but shut up. You didn't like it.
And what feels nice is it's not a regional thing. From here to New York to Michigan, your statistic you said is the same everywhere.
Yeah,
I think one thing that we all take for granted, especially when you're new in the sport and new to going to events, is that it's a combat sport, and it's hard on you. It's hard on your player that you're playing against. And by nature of the sport, one team is going to win and one team is going to lose. And the way combat works is that as you lose faster and faster and faster because you lose room to maneuver, you lose morale, you lose players, you lose the ability to fight back against the enemy. So once you start losing, especially if it's early on in the game, you're done. Your event experience is going to
Yeah.
And it's just how the sport is. There's nothing that can be done about it.
So we try to keep it at an hour. So any last thoughts? Anything extra you want to talk about the upcoming event real quick?
Yeah. So
events plural.
So Mini Milsim 7, Mini Milsim 7's happening in early November at OX Hudson. We did the field walk. OX Hudson is just as nice as the OX Orlando field, and it's actually a little bit bigger. So we're going to have a ton of fun there. We've got a lot of cool stuff planned. We're spending triple the amount on props this time that we did at any of the previous Mini Milsims because we really want to raise the game on that.
I know a guy who does props, by the way.
We've been talking just a little bit. I met him at Black Tiger, so I'm gonna pick his brain a little bit more too.
And I am open to it for sure.
Kaisevec too. People know about that. That one will be fine. But the two
bring your own water.
The two things I want to give to people who may either A, want to do events in the future or B, doing events now. Start small. Don't bite off more than you can chew in the beginning, and let yourself build up. Because you do need people in place, procedures in place, props, everything in order to be successful. And like Greg said, just don't give up. Like, you're going to have a breaking point where you're not going to want to do it anymore. And just if you're not going to do it anymore, that's fine. But don't let one bad event ruin the rest of all the events that you could be putting on in the future.
Absolutely. We all have one bad moment. It doesn't erase all the good stuff. So for sure. All right, Toucan, you got anything?
I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you didn't give up. And if you did give up, that would have been pretty sad because you're an event producer that the state could use.
Yep,
I appreciate.
And I mean,
that.
Yeah,
definitely. Your drive and determination to push through is inspiring. And to go from who's that guy to, oh damn, there he is, that's that big step right there. And then to keep pushing forward, don't quit. Absolutely not. So when we are a community, talk with us. We all talk together, and we're all here for each other.
Oh, that's my other thing. I have to get this message out everywhere because I can't not get it out enough, guys. If you were an airsoft business owner, you need to understand that a rising tide lifts all boats. If you have a player at your field, they will be a player at someone else's field. They will be at another person's event. They'll be at yours. They'll be at someone else's. Guess what? If you have an abundance mindset, there will just be more players and there will be more money. There will be more games. There will be more events. It's when you get tribal and defensive, like don't talk to him, and don't go to that field. That's when everything starts to fall apart. That's when people looking in from the outside say, that's a really toxic sport. I don't want my kid, my husband, my daughter, or whoever to go into that sport because look at how they behave. So I just want that message. Every time I get a chance to talk in public, I want get that message out there.
And to the people that keep acting like that, shut the hell up and join us. It's awesome here. God.
You're 100% right. When I came into this, just capitalizing that, when I came into Airsoft, that's exactly how it was. It was Op, Doomsday, and Benito, and you weren't allowed to play you only could play at one. If they found out you played at the other one, you got shunned. And they used to do this all the time. And Tiny and I brought Doomsday up to Op, and that was the start of that whole merging, and when I saw that it was able to, I knew. Christian remembers having a three-way phone call where we talked about what I believed could be, and they were both like, man, Airsofters aren't like that.
It was brutal. It was so brutal. Oh.
And here, 11 years later, we're a community. We need to behave as such. And like you said, a rising tide raises all ships. 1,000%. There are social contracts to abide by. There are things you do to keep everybody here, and you help each of you push your way on up. Freddie getting Battle at Six Flags Sal from TCA was like, "Oh shit, we're gonna go ahead and move our date."
Yeah.
Because they had a date for, I forget which event it was, and Sal's like, "No, we're not going to impede on that," and he shifted the date of the event. That's big, you know.
Yeah.
But because that other thing was, it's a once in a lifetime thing, you know, you don't ever get to do that. He recognized it, and rather than just stepping on him, he lifted him up, and we need to continue to do that. We absolutely need to be able to do that. Was it Crossbones, David? Was it really Crossbones that he shifted? I didn't realize it was.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't
Crossbones is gonna rule. By the way,
that's even cooler that he shifted. That it was Crossbones he shifted because that's their new event. So that's even cooler that he did that. Yeah. So, guys, I'm sorry we went a little bit over. But
I'll hold my tongue.
I'm sorry, Matt's so yappy. We're trying to have a professional cast, and he keeps talking about a stupid airsoft company. Ugh.
Right? I will. No, it looks like we've gotten requests to have for other people that want to come back on again, so we can do it. We can do a part 2 if you want. Happy to do it. You can bring us a still frame shot of Linder and just hold him like this.
Yeah, I'll
go cut out.
He'll be back here.
So, but guys, thank you very much, man, for coming on. I really do appreciate it.
Appreciate you having me on.
Anything you ever need, you know, obviously we've talked about that before. Please don't hesitate. You can only borrow him, you can't keep him, and I will.
Shut up.
He's a little too much for me. You can keep him. I'll just talk to him.
Damn. Wow. I don't want him back now. Shit. Okay.
Yeah, I charge $1 zillion an hour because there's so much money in the sport. Yeah.
Oh, that's character-wise.
Nothing but loot to be made, right?
I'm actually insulted.
I don't know if I can keep up with him all the time, man. He'd be running me ragged.
Please.
That was. Oh God, end it! I want to leave forever. He wanted to quit. I quit. I'm done. I'm out. That's it.
All right, guys. Everybody, thank you very much. Matt, thank you for coming on. Toucan, as always, wonderful pleasure. Appreciate you all. And until next time, guys, we'll see you.